as support for a military intervention built right here in the United States. And last night we heard a very different message, vowing to destroy and degrade these terrorists with a series of military actions. Joining us now to react in a Kelly File exclusive, Michael Foley, the brother of Jim Foley. Michael, thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and I appreciate it in particular on a day like this, 9/11, when you and your family have been directly affected by the war on terror that began 13 years ago today. I want to ask you, your brother...
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Your brother Jim went to Syria in an act of courage to cover the barbarism there and ultimately became a victim of it. The president last night vowed a military campaign, but my question to you is whether it came too late.
Yeah, well, it certainly came too late for Jim. I just hope it's not too late for others.
When you sat and listened to the president last night, talk about how a core principle of his presidency is if you threaten America, you will find no safe haven, and heard him outline his plan, what were your thoughts?
It didn't sound like much of a plan to me. I mean, I understand why maybe certain details they don't go into, but I would have liked to have seen a little more involved strategy that includes a plan to institutionalize change there and stabilize the region.
I know your family has been somewhat upset with how the administration handled Jim's case, obviously, and your family over the course of it.
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering whether you feel that that you were well supported, because I know that when we made the prisoner swap with the 5 Taliban generals for Bo Bergdahl, a man who was accused of being a deserter of the U.S. Army, the president came out and said the policy is no man left behind, and he expanded that even to civilians, saying no Americans unjustly detained should be left behind either, and wondering if you feel he and the administration did all they could to get Jim back.
No, we're appalled by the situation. It went past not doing everything they could into they were actually an impedance. They got in our way, and that's what really bothers me to the core. I was specifically threatened by the Department of State about raising funds towards ransom demands for my brother. We were smart enough to look past it, but it slowed us down. We lost a lot of time trying to regroup.
Wait, they didn't even want you to do it privately? I mean, it's one thing if the American government won't do it. That's been our long-standing policy, but they didn't even want you to do anything privately.
Exactly. My parents believe strongly, family and friends. We've started a foundation. It's on freejamesfoley.org. It's called the James W. Foley Legacy Foundation, and it's aimed at assisting hostages and families of hostages, with navigating this web, fostering communication between nations. There was really no sharing of information. In fact, when we tried to get information from other allies, even, we were stonewalled. So it's a huge gap.
Michael, the whole country was so horrified by the video of what happened to Jim, and obviously no one more so than your family, and it's actually played a major role in the president's announcement last night. I mean, the latest Fox News poll showed 65% of the American public believed that the United States should take the lead in going after the killers of your brother. Did you watch the video?
I did. I watched an unedited version of the video. I felt I had to. Jim's death means so much more than a catalyst for some of the U.S. action, but at least there is some comfort in that. Certainly was a kind of a seminal moment, and clearly, has pushed our administration to act. But the video just struck me to the core, that just the evil this group has. I just can't wrap my mind around that. Jim was such a good person. I wish I could even come close to his approach to life. He really cared about the disadvantaged his entire career, from teaching in inner city Phoenix to working with mothers towards their GEDs in Chicago, and all his work in the Middle East to bring light to the atrocities there. It was just a circumstance, an ending that I could have never imagined.
I know Pope Francis actually said that his death was an act of martyrdom. And his legacy that he leaves behind is that courage and that willingness to stand up in the face of barbarism and try to shine a light on it, which many journalists were too afraid to do. Michael, all the best to you and your family. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thanks, Megan. Take care.